Hello everyone, my name is Notepad and on and I write games for fun. So what are we doing today? Well, today we're going to be working on kind of the prelims, you could say, of... Give me 1 second. I was fucking with my audio the other day. Everything's all broken now. We're going to be working on the prelims of Midnight Anima. From last time, for those who don't remember, I went a little bit insane. I went a little bit nuts. But today what we gotta do is we gotta put everything together more than anything. Which is the important part. Nothing matters if the game doesn't matter. And that's all what we're trying to do here today. Why are you... Okay, we're just gonna delete these. Cool. So, what we're gonna need to put this is we're gonna need to go... Whoop. Put you right there, just so we have you here. So, the big thing that we got to consider is, let's actually get rid of these three. We don't need you. So, let's see. Hey. I'm gonna make a Dark Souls game while ignoring Dark Souls gameplay. Instead, listen to my Japanese businessman Tolpa. Yes, what do you mean? There's nothing wrong with this. I explained in detail why I think you can't adapt Dark Souls. So instead, I'm adapting Dark Souls differently. Don't worry, there's nothing wrong with this. This is perfectly normal. Don't call my psychiatrist. I'm not going back. But, so let's see, what are we actually looking for? The official JTRPG Dark Souls game, which will never get a translation, by the way. Never, ever. So what we need to do is we need to make this. Because the odd thing is, let's do Dragon... I just need to check something. Dragon Quest IV. This would have been the latest one at this time. Hi, Dragon Quest IV. Because the odd thing when it comes to it is... So, like, how do I want to do this? So, tone-wise, actually, we want to do Grim Hope. Would that be, like, the correct tone? Which we want to boot in... Which I'm going to put this right up here, kind of Berserk plus Dragon Quest, that's pretty much it. And if you, honestly God, if you look at what Dark Souls is based off of, Berserk's a little bit in there, just a smidge, just a itty-bitty Berserk's in there, to the point where I think in Elden Ring there is legitimately just like a full-on Berserk reference. You even find the Berserk armor. Let's see, Berserk Dragon Quest, so... We're doing Berserk Dragon Quest. What do we need from that tonally? So, no heroes, no quote heroes. No heroes, just regular folks in extreme situations. So it's not really like the furtive pygmy, that's not it. Oh yeah, well, it's Group SNE. Those are the guys who actually did the official Dark Souls game. Group SNE is... You could consider them the boomers of JTRPGs. Like, they have a very certain way of doing things. They're the ones who actually do Sword World. So it's like, yeah, of course this makes sense. Hence why I have this right down here. So I have to kind of borrow a little bit from there. So this is going to be the tone right here. Because if we use this as the basic kind of... If we say these are the building blocks for, like, why things are the way they are. Put you there. Gameplay is simple but deep. So the big thing, the actual core mechanic... Core system is going to be this 2d6 system plus d100. Let me just do... So it's going to be the 2d6 plus... see, here's the thing with Sword World. Oh, this is 2.0. We don't want 2.0. Because we can't reference 2.0. Because this would be the key number system. Ratings tables used for damage. Yeah. Yeah, we don't really need to worry about the key table anymore, because that's not really a thing we need to even think about. What am I looking? 2d6 plus... Or if I really want to think about it, we could do 2d6 roll under attribute. We do 2d6 roll under attribute, and let's just do a quick Dragon Quest attributes. So let's just do, what are our absolute basic Dragon Quest attributes? Let's think Dragon Quest. This is the most important thing. So, obviously we're going to have hit points. Okay, we're going to have magic points. Magic points. These are probably going to have to be derived. So if we do derived attributes there, so we don't have to worry about hit points, we don't have to worry about magic points necessarily. So our basic stats, just overall basic stats, we're going to have strength, agility, resilience, wisdom, luck. No influence character, chance of mesmerize monster. Let's see. Styles, predecessor, charm, found later again. Such a describes character, they charm, attractiveness. Style determines character's placement in the contest, such as world style ranking in Dragon Quest. This would be 6. So wait, Dragon Quest 6 came out in 1995, so this would have been right perfect, right where I'm looking for. And Dragon Quest 6 was, just to make sure this is the right one. Yes, this is correct. Okay. This is about what I was looking for here, so... Classes are we dealing with? Very basic assortment of classes, but let's... would we even add style? I don't think so. Deafness, I don't think. Charm. Magical mending, magical might, attack, defense. So we can have an... So it would be like... So you'd have to have different things, so we need attack, defense. So strength, this is just strength. Agility is effectively our dex. This is effectively our vit. Wisdom is effectively our int. And luck is just luck. And we like luck. Luck is a fun stat to have. Now let's do Kingsfield attributes. Does Kingfields even have proper attributes? Yes, let's go to the official Kingsfield manual. Let's see. Journey... A status window. Let's see, we're gonna have to learn how to play the game. History. Oh, this would be Kingsfield 4. Playing King's hit points, power gauge, magic points. Okay, so pretty much standard there. You don't really have attributes in this game, though. Actually, let's see. Hmm. Okay. You can't scale Magic and Dragon Quest with attributes. Exactly. You making a Dragon Quest TTRPG? It's complicated. It is. Well, here's the thing. This is Kingsfield. This is the American version. This is actually the first time we actually got Kingsfield. We never saw the original Kingsfield. Technically, I don't believe we have ever seen Kingsfield proper, like released properly. What we got instead was Kingsfield 4 translated into Kingsfield. I believe that's how it went. It's a little bit confusing. Welcome to the 90s, everybody. Let's see, that it. Kingsfield 2, okay. So, what are we doing today? Very simple. This is a game called Midnight Anima. Midnight Anima is a game that I said, I'm going to put Dark Souls on the table because I said I wanted to. However, I have a very strong philosophy, and my very strong philosophy is that you cannot put Dark Souls on the table because Dark Souls is a video game. Every single one of its systems is built around being a video game first and being everything else second. Every single thing that makes Dark Souls is because it is a video game. So, I had to think different. I had to close my eyes and go back to the past. So I needed to think of why. I needed to develop Dark Souls from the start as a tabletop game to get the right feeling of what I would want to do. This led me to my schizophrenic tulpa of Kenji Oyomai. Pretty much, I needed to think of like what made Dark Souls Dark Souls, and what makes Dark Souls Dark Souls was Kingsfield. If you don't have Kingsfield, you will not have Elden Ring. Remember that. It's been years at this point. It's been 18 years. But Elden Ring does not jump without Kingsfield 1 going through a dark tunnel to get stabbed to death. That is a very important thing to note. You also don't have this without things like Berserk. You don't have things like, you don't have all these different things because that's what made Dark Souls, and in turn Demon Souls. That's what made those games popular. That's what made From Software. So, I went back. 1994, Kingsfield 1 comes out. I needed to make someone who would make a JTRPG based off his favorite game. So I came up with somebody. I needed to think as someone in 1995 who would do this. Well, 1995, we have this. Gotta think smart. What would be this guy? How would he operate? And the answer is, he's a big Berserk fan, loves Dragon Quest. Why? Because Dragon Quest was a big influence on everybody during that era. And because it was an influence on everybody, it's a big deal. It's a big part of it. In which case you have things like Sword World. Sword World 1E came out during this time, 1989 to be exact. Sword World 1E is very Dragon Quest. Why? Because that's what made money. So you have all these little parts coming together to form the first edition of this fictional game, otherwise known as Midnight Anima. And then things got weird. Let's see, so at this point in his rant that you say, there's just he's limited to video game RPG. This is garlic to my Yeah, I'm a vampire and this is garlic. You hurt me. So we do actually have classes to work with, so that's actually good. So let me see what the exact. Luckily, these are actually very simple attributes to work with. Attack is mostly just going to be strength. Is going to be STR plus weapon. which is very helpful. Defense is pretty much just going to be agility plus armor slash resilience plus armor, but we have to ask ourselves, would this person be autistic enough to separate them? Would he have a dodge and a defense value? That's the question. Would this 20-year-old autist who decided to do this think this way? I have to think of what Kenshi would do. What is this fictional Japanese salaryman from 1995 think? And what we're gonna do, well, actually, it would be 2E, right? It would be second edition. I'm trying to think of what the version of what the Japanese version would come out during that time. It would have been second edition. Shields were how you die. Yeah, no, exactly. And it's like, but would this guy be autistic enough to do this? That's what I'm trying to think. Because right now, what I need to do is I just need to get as much stuff together. Because effectively, oh, didn't mean to hit that. Effectively, what this setting is going to be at the end of the day is is a Berserk plus Dragon Quest. Simply because I can do that, and I have no sense of right or wrong. So our most basic attributes are luckily going to be very simple. We do not need very advanced attributes for this, but who needs advanced attributes? That's not the point. So if we do 2d6 roll under, though, 2d6 roll under, that would be... Okay. We need to go to any dice. Well, don't answer something right away. Just understand, once the brain juice goes, there's no stopping it. So if we say that 2d6 is averaging out about 7, so he's going to say most attributes are probably going to be in the 5 to... I'd say 5 to 8 range. For average out about to the 5 to 8 range. See, alternatively, if we really want to get a little bit wonkier, we could add a 3d6, which would bump up the range a little bit more. Do we want to do that? I don't think so. We'll keep it like this for now. So most of the characters are going to be fairly... Well, what we can do is we can actually tie... This would be... Tie it to the class. Class determines. So if we do this, the idea that the class determines our initial one, and a very basic idea would be warrior. Let's just do a basic warrior class would have strength, strength 8, agility 6, 7, resilience, actually agility 6, resilience 7, wisdom 4, luck, luck 4, luck 3 or something. Just as simple as physically possible. I need to make a strength check. What do? I roll under this. I rolled an 8. Congratulations, I'm a fucking hero. Those aren't really going to change very much, but they don't need to change very much. Unless we jack it down just a little bit, we average it out at 6. So this would be more So, get my... So let's think about this for a second. We average out about 6, so you're a little bit below average in what a case of like hard. But again, you're not the hero. You're a normal fucking person. That's kind of the idea. You're normal fucking people. That's where things are going to get a little bit complicated, Draco. That's where things are going to get really fucking complicated, because it's not going to be it's not just 2d6 system. Oh, no, 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 no. It's a 2d6 d100 system, because I hate myself. So, averages out about 5-6 range, AVG 6. So if we average it out about 6, class determines our attributes. These average out to be about this. Our attributes are important. They're our base ability. These are just like me as a person. This is how if I'm strong, if I'm weak, if I don't know something. That's very basic understanding. Or we can do a roll system, like a random roll, then with class bonus question mark. Kind of like how the traditional, kind of like Dragon Quest 6 would have done it. Like you would roll your attributes first. If you don't have very good attributes, then you just go from there. So it would be like D6 plus 2, for example. Let's do, for example, let's say D6 plus 2. That's how we determine our attributes. So we're going to do example man. Example man's strength. Let's see what his strength is going to be. D6 plus 2. He rolled a 5. He has high strength. What's his agility at? 1. He rolled a 3 for his agility. What's his resilience at? He rolled that. I'm rolling a lot of 5s today. Okay, maybe that's not the best idea. Unless we manipulate the results. If we manipulate the results, that could get a little bit interesting. We could do... You can choose one, what you're going to do, 1d6 plus 2. You're going to do 3, which is going to be 1d6, just flat. Actually, no, well, not 1d6. It would be 1d6 plus 1. So your minimum going to have 2 in a lot of your attributes. And then we just do 1, which is just roll 1d6. No, unless we do 2, something like that. So our basic attributes would be... We'll use our 1d6 plus 2 on our strength. Good start. Okay, our agility is going to be 4. Our resilience is going to be 4, because I can't roll anything fucking higher. Then I should have taken the first set of attributes. All right. So these are this would be the basic roll system. So you're not guaranteed good stats just as much as you're not guaranteed anything else. 2d600 system, not that much of a masochist. Ha ha! Yeah, remember, this is schizo note time. Like these are just throwing notes. If you have ideas, if you want to say, Notepad, you're going insane, please seek help. Feel free to ask. If we do this, so either we can do class determines and then like class bonus. Because then we could do something, for example, like I want to play a martial artist in 6, I guess. If I want to play a martial artist, what's going to be my stat changes? Percent based. Fuck. Oh god. Not like this. Let's see. Leg sweep, roundhouse kick, stat changes. Well, actually, if we do by battles, that could work. Because you end up with things like roundhouse kick, for example. Reoccurring ability. This would be Dragon Quest 6. Rank 2 martial arts. Usually it's just damage, right? Yeah, it'd just be damage. Okay. So that would be the idea behind it. Hybrid abilities. So the hybrid class system. Make a gladiator, select in the battles of that class. So luckily, we actually have a raw method of advancement, because it's not going to be making a Dragon Quest RPG. I see. Not quite a Dragon Quest RPG. More Dragon Quest by way of Berserk to make a Dark Souls game. It's a little bit messy. Pretty much, what if a Dragon Quest... The idea is, what if a Dragon Quest fan grew up and wanted to make something darker and edgier? That's effectively what this game is going to be. And unfortunately, it's also going to be a Dark Souls game, because I am not going insane, you are. I'm not crazy. So, we use this as our basic idea, because again, I will say this. I will always say this. Percentages, if you're not using a D100 system, AIDS. It's always going to be AIDS. There's no good way of doing that. There's not a single good way of doing percentages, unless it's like a very simple percentage gains and losses, simply because there's a lot of little numbers that can get it wrong. Mostly when it's like, oh, 15% of 15. No one's going to care about that. In a video game, you can feel that sometimes. 15% of 15 does sometimes have a tangible effect, but you don't, while in a tabletop game, you don't see it as easily because it's like ones and twos. So that's actually a good idea. However, this is also going to lead into, again, this is just the attribute system right here, which is going to lead into 1D, which is going to lead into 1D100 for skills, which are going to be more COC-esque skills, which luckily, because I'm a genius, we can go like this. Your initial class is going to determine your skills, unless we want to do like a dual class system. But most of the time, you're only going to take one class, which I think would be appropriate. Which, again, leads to the advancement method. Because if we do the advancement method, it would be, you're not necessarily gaining XP necessarily. You're gaining class features. You're gaining more stuff like that. You're leveling up your own class to get the next class or to learn something else. So, skills are... areas of knowledge, information, personal history. If I want to hit somebody, for example, I want to hit somebody, I'm going to I would roll my dice versus your resilience or something similar to that. Or, alternatively, we don't really factor that in for the attribute system right off the bat. Like an attribute check is... Who's adding me? Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. I haven't even factored in, that kind of checks yet. I ain't that good. Let me see. So the question verse comes down to which would make sense because it'd be like, oh, I want to cast a spell. All right, you want to cast a spell? What spell you want to cast? I want to do this white magic spell. You're going to go 1. You want to roll me like, I rolled an 8. I succeeded at casting my magic. However, we have a question for ourselves. We do that. Do we add in it for weapons as well? And we just treat attributes as, how do I want to word this? We can treat attributes raw, or we can treat attributes as a actual factor. Both of them have their own ups and downs in that regard. What is on my poor dice here? I have these nice pair of metal dice that I use a lot. I guess the years have finally gotten to them a little bit. I should clean these off one of these days. Been a while. Yeah. Take that out. So let's do roll under attribute. Again, this is just raw attribute check. I need to lift open a gate, going to be a strength check. I need to climb over a wall, going to be an agility check. This would be areas of knowledge, which would be a D100 system. Now, this is going to be a wild idea. We just apply megaversal logic to it. Pretty much out of combat. Out of combat stuff is mostly going to be skills with occasional attribute checks. In combat is mostly attribute with occasional skills. A little bit different. So if I want to make a... I'm trying to think of what it'd be. See, I haven't done a roll under system before. Excuse me, Mom. God damn it. I could feel it. It was right there. I'm like, oh God. See, one of the issues is, I like my new computer. New computer is very nice. The backspace button and the numlock key are really close together, so occasionally I hit both. And I tie almost all of my hotkeys for OBS to my num key. Hence why I'm able to do that. If I turn it off, it always gets weird. So I'm like hitting the mute button. I'm like, why isn't it muting? Why? Roll New Sister RPG opposed checks. What would be an opposed check? Opposed to 50%. I had my stat, reduce stat resistance. And use blind check like method. Roll 13. Its success is opposition rolls a 9. It's also a success. I win because my success is better. Actually, If it's entirely based off that, dare I say we just do guaranteed hit? Let's see. You could do someone like Traveler Way. If you have do a check, you roll skill check, meaning your level of knowledge in the subject, and you add the stat to that, meaning actual ability to do it. Yeah, if I didn't decide to do a D100, I think that would be good. If I want to do the Wild Skies method, that would be it. I'm kind of committed to this now, because I want to say that I did, but I understand where you're going with, where you're going at. Unless this is another very weird option. It's so an opposed check would be pretty much we'll call it actor A. Actor A makes the check, succeeds. Okay, actor A has made the check and he succeeds. It is going to happen. You know, it will occur unless actor B makes a check and succeeds. So it's kind of that idea of like you're having to make a check to oppose it. So you will always win unless you can't. But then you'd have a penalty. What would the penalty be if you succeed by the difference, maybe? Difference of success. Equal bonus. So, again, let's think about it like this. We will use Example Man. Example Man, where are you? I deleted Example Man. Damn it! Why am I the way that I am? Okay, so let's just do very simple strength. Let's just do strength 5, agility 4. Agility 4, resilience. We'll just do average stats across the board. Now, this isn't necessarily going to be combat based. This is just going to be like an opposed check. I want to beat you in a race. You want to beat me in a race. We're both going to roll. Actually, if we do this, what am I thinking? What am I thinking? What am I thinking? Stop. Think. Think like this guy would. These are a summary of skills, personal information, personal hustle, and magic. I want to make a magic check. I want to use white magic. I'm going to roll, and I rolled a 21. So I would have succeeded it at that. What am I looking for? I can see what I want. I don't know how to do it, though. What am I thinking? What am I thinking? What am I thinking? What am I thinking? We can either do whoever rolls lowest. So again, let's just say the target, let's say everyone's 5. If you say roll lowest, the person who rolls a 2 is going to roll the lowest, but the person, or do we go with the highest? Pretty much who's the closest to 5. Kind of again, that blackjack method. Well, anything over it is a failure. Anything closest to it is not. Blackjack method. Blackjack method is a little bit confusing, but I understand where they're going from now. Whoever roll, actually. Dead on is a critical. So if the target number is 5, I'm going to roll, and I rolled 9. I'm going to fail. However, if I roll this, I'm going to fail. However, for combat checks, when it comes down to things like resilience, So our base, because there's two things we could do here. There's two things with defense what we can do. Either A, defense, let's see, defense is negation of damage. That's all. Defense is your negation of damage. Because I have a defense of, let's say I have a defense of 6. I roll, I successfully hit you. I'm going to roll my dice and I'm going to do 11 damage to you. Because you have a 6 in your defense, I now only do 5 damage to you. That's option A. Or is defense... actually, how do I want to word this? Defense is mitigation. Actually, is mitigation. Actually, is negation. I mix those two around. Defense is mitigation of damage, which is just saying I just mitigated the damage. Instead of taking 11, I took 5. Defense is the negation of damage, which is to say if you hit me, I'm going to take the full amount of damage. But if you fail to hit this number, or you fail to do this, I'm going to take no damage. Bounces off my armor. I dodge out of the way. That's why I'm thinking that gets a little bit messier, because in Dragon Quest, it doesn't work that way. Dragon Quest is entirely derived from a set of systems. What am I looking at here? No, come on. No. Think differently. Actually, the 100 system. Actually, let's do, what am I thinking? Okay, no. I'm looking at the wrong place. I'm thinking wrong. Think Kenshi. Don't think Notepad, think Kenshi. Do I have... Give me one moment. Think smart. So, modern solutions require modern problems. We gotta look about what Call of Cthulhu was. So, here's our basic investigator stats. See, my main thing is not Call of Cthulhu. This is 2nd edition Call of Cthulhu. Yeah, this is 2nd edition. This isn't recent versions. I think my first one was 5th. That's the closest that I can remember. So this is a little bit old. This is quite a bit older. But yeah, like here's all the stats and stuff. What I mean by that, we need to find attributes real fast. Oh my god. I'm gonna have to go through this entire thing, aren't I? I am. God damn it. Okay, no. How skills work. Automatic actions. Resistance to shock. Die. So that's a 20-sided dice. D6 is 6-sided dice. Designations. Reading the dice. So figures and focus. Other aids. We don't need that. Creating investigator. Okay. Because yeah, majority of characteristics don't really play that big a deal, but they do other things. They are present for other aspects. These are where everything is derived from. You'd be pretty much putting in a characteristic check. This roll is con. Yeah, so we just think smart. Remember, Notepad, think smart. Well, most opposed checks are D100. But what we need to do is think smart. Think Kenshi. Kenshi knows what he's doing. I don't. So I need to think like Kenshi. Nobody cares about RRPG. Reddit is a disastrous place and deserves nothing but the cross. So, if we use this as a basic idea, and most everything is going to be based around these skills. Skills are going to be the main core of the game. However, the core system is this. That's what we can do as well. We can also use these as, code. We bump up the number of dice then. If we bump up the number of dice to 3d6, you're going to have a range of 3 to 18. No, let's keep it 2d6. You're going to have a range of 2 to 12. So your basic skills are going to be here, but these attributes are going to feed into this. This is where the majority of the game is going to be, right here. And that's okay. And because what we can do with that... Defense is... All of these are still important. If you don't have a skill for it, you check against it. This is just your raw ability to do something. It doesn't have a... Sometimes not everything is going to have a skill. You don't need a skill in... You don't need a skill in doing basic labor. Why? Why would you need a skill to lift something? There's not a lifting skill. That's ridiculous. What you need skills are things that you've learned. So skills are... So you're always going to have a certain amount. Your class is just going to determine all of these. Thinking more of this, let's do Demon Souls. Demon Souls, we're going to have a lot more about the idea of... No, I was talking about Raditz. You know, Raditz. Yes, I'm talking about Raditz, popular Dragon Ball Z character. Skills are learned talents and abilities, not basic things. If you want to win in a foot race, you're going to roll your attribute. Of course, you're going to roll your attributes. Your classes are going to determine that, and that's also going to affect other things. Defense, what we can make defense is... Sit back and think. Think first edition. What would defense be? Defense is a little bit clunky first edition, of course. He doesn't quite know how to do it. It's a D100 system, for God's sakes. He's trying to mix a bunch of things together. Because he's trying to mix a bunch of things together, nothing quite fits. Rolls around to second edition, gets inspired. He understands now defense isn't important. Defense is a way of mitigation. He's going to have armor, and anytime you get hit by something, you're going to be able to reduce the damage down. However, one of the ideas is that he's probably going to put in defensive actions. We use defensive actions here. Which are going to be raw skill checks. So, I'm going to hit you with my sword. I'm going to slash you with my sword. I'm going to be rolling my sword skill. My intent is that I want to dash forward and I want to cut you in half. However, you are smart. You know you have one defense opportunity and you want to try to dodge out of the way. You're going to take your 2d6. You're going to try to roll under your agility. You're trying to oppose me with a raw attribute check. You roll and you fail it. You take it right to the goddamn face. Those defensive attributes are going to be the thing that's going to save you. Or we just keep it raw. Or we do guaranteed action. Or do we keep guaranteed action? Do we keep guaranteed action? Reddit's just a terrible place. Like, that's one of the big things. Reddit just sucks. There's nothing redeemable about Reddit. So, okay, let's just think of like this. In the void. Character wants to do something simple. I want to find a book. I want to hold something up. I want to hide. Actually, I want to do... You're pretty much wanting to do something simple. Because you're wanting to do something simple, it's going to be an attribute check. This is your shorthand method. Attribute checks are the shorthand. It's just your raw ability to do something. Don't worry about it. Don't think about it too hard. Because actually, let me just do... Demon Souls attributes. Vitality. These are all, yeah. Because these are all things for just equipping new things. They're all magic. This is... So everything is just based off the attributes don't really do much. So everything is going to be based off the skills, because the thing is you can't translate the beats that a player would have. The player skills are going to have to be skills in the game. I understand that I need to roll at a certain time. See, now if I wanted to be really cursed about things, it would be this version right here. Because right here is here. What would the battle map be like? He wants to keep it like Dragon Quest, obviously, so he doesn't want to deal with the battle map. He has to publish in the shitty little magazine. Since he can't do that, everyone's split up into 2 lines. It's pretty much line combat, because that's how Dragon Quest did it. He would adapt the line combat here, though. You're not using minis. He can't afford to use minis. That's not something he wants to do. He's older now. He's wiser. He knows he's going to abstract the battle map out. How do you abstract the battle map? You're going to get a few amount of actions. Your skills are going to be broad, but they're going to be useful. I'm just... He's going to break that down as well, because he wants to keep the original attribute system, but he also wants to improve upon it. You don't need to roll a fucking skill to hide. No one needs to roll a skill check to hide away from something. No, you just rush behind something. That's not hard. That's not complicated. To sneak around somebody, to go around them, take something and leave, that's going to be a skill check. You're trying to do something well or with an effect. You don't need to hide. That's fine. Hiding is simple. Sneaking is hard. So the best idea would be someone is fast on their feet and able to do anything. It doesn't really matter if they're really good at sneaking or anything. They know how to do this. They're going to be able to do it pretty quickly just because of who they are. It's about physical attributes. It's about mental. It's about just being smart. It's about being fast, about being strong, not necessarily about knowing something. However, if you want to do something well, you're going to have a skill for it. Okay, no, okay. I know what I'm doing. However, we need to do combat. So, we're going to need to abstract the battle map. Abstracted battle map. Now, here's the thing. Notepad add-on wants to do the action map. Action battle map. He wants to rip that from Necrotica. However, would Kenshi do that? I don't think Kenshi would like Necrotica very much. It's not his style. It's not fantasy. It's not fascinating to him. So he can't do that. That's not something we're going to worry about. However, what would he do? It's been a while. We're just gonna Google it. When in doubt, you Google it. Fan trend, like 3 hour. SNES long play. Dragon Quest VII's long plays are like super long. Watch this Spanish YouTube video. Let's see. Do you get into a fight at all? I want to making a wild guess. It's exactly the way I think it's gonna be. Yeah, there's no map or anything. You're just sitting there. It's right in front of you. Because it's right in front of you, you don't gotta think about it at all. Someone left a comment. Cool. First edition. No map. You're just in combat. You're either behind, no map, line combat. Quite literally, you are in front or you are behind. That's all you have the option of being. If you are in front, you're going to get attacked first. If you are behind, you can only get attacked by ranged attack. No one in the front, everyone moves forward. Simple. Why? Because we got 40 fucking pages to get this combat system. We have 40 pages to get this done, and we have to do it in 30. Cool. We already know that. Cool. That's first edition. However, Demon Souls comes out. He likes the battles. He likes it being momentous, but he doesn't want to change anything. Doesn't need to worry about that at all. We can maintain that. We can maintain that for most normal encounters. So normal encounters, because remember, he's adapting to the times. He knows what he wants. You encounter a bunch of slimes. That's not important. It is not important to the actual game that you encounter all those slimes. That's not the point. You're not supposed to care about the slimes. The slimes are there to eat your resources. However, boss encounters are going to be different. He likes the arenas. However, he doesn't want to compromise anything. He doesn't want to change too much. Maybe like a radial system? Like the boss is technically always in the center, but you have something like this. So you have someone on the far side, the middle, and then right up in their grill. Well, the boss can say, okay, what we can do further is we can break that down into like a 4x4 grid, or like a target grid. So you could be, for example, you could be here, for example. Let's say, for example, X here is right here. The boss is right in the middle. We're fighting the boss. However, our ranger person is like right here. They're trying to fight, but they also want to do things. Magician Man is over here. Magician Man is in this section. You two are here. Boss makes an attack. He's going to affect everything from, let's say, everything in quad. He's going to affect everything in ring 1. He's going to affect everything in ring 1 and 2 in quadrant 1. So he's going to affect everything in this ring and this ring. We already know that. We know that's going to occur. We need to get over here. We need to try to dodge out of the way. But he's also going to have options to, just beat the shit out of us. However, what do you do in a situation where he does a move like this? What do you do? Magician Man, he's safe. Ranger Lady, she's safe. What does Warrior Man do? Well, Warrior Man's in the wrong fucking position. He's going to get his shit rocked. Maybe something like that. Just look at more battle maps. That's what I'm thinking. Adventures of Die levels. Fuck it. Let's see. Yeah, I'm making a fictional human being here. I'm gonna have to read this, aren't I? Oh Jesus. Oh God. Most likely. Yeah, looking at this, most likely. That'd be another Toei thing. Because here's the thing, like, I'm actually not a huge Dragon Quest fan. Like, Dragon Quest never really, like, jumped out at me being like, it's time for Dragon Quest. Never really been a huge Dragon Quest fan. So I'm like, I played 8, I think. I think that was the one I played. The one where you have to save the one where the princess is a horse. Like, that's the one I remember. I liked it. That one was fun. I wasn't very good at it because I was a stupid child, but it's the idea of you dodging around, you're trying to negotiate, you're trying to do things, maybe something like that. Boss encounters. Why? Because you'd also be wanting to fight an apostle. Because, yeah, this would be the lead up. You want to fight the big monster at the end of the dungeon. You want to fight the big, bad fucking monster who's going to try to fuck your day up. Boss encounters are different. They are their own thing. They are the end of the session. End of session. End of session is when you kill the boss. However, everything leading up to it is all about that. So combat is mostly about non-important encounters, which are resource drains. It's a check. That's all you're doing effectively. That's what it is. It's a check, but it's a kind of a gear check, you could say. Enemies, actually, enemies don't roll. They do. Gwen doesn't miss an attack. Gwen tries to kill you, you dodge out of the way of the attack. Enemies don't miss. You dodge. You get the fuck out of there. So that's what it's all about. So they're going to set up their actions, and it's all about you reacting to those actions. You make the attack, you hit somebody, you have those options. You want to do 2 attacks? Cool. However, bring it back. You aren't going to be able to do that much damage then. Because you have a shield, you can try to block. Because you have this, you can try to dodge. You can... Okay. And combat is a series of checks. And that's how we do it. That's how we do it here, because he enjoys the fact that there's challenge. More streamlined. Geos with friends and coworkers on the weekends. Do we do a very structured play? Maybe. Because what we want to do is dying. Characters don't die easily. Characters don't die. Yeah, actually, no. How do I want to word this? Because what happens when you hit 0 HP, normally what'll happen is that you die. However, you're not going to die. What's going to happen is loss of skills. Loss is going to be the loss of skills, but actually no. Actually, what we can do, this is going to be an option. What we can do is, instead of losing skills, which we will happen is we will lose attributes, but gain skills. I have been hit. I am downed. I am on the ground. I have lost all my health. You know, the fight ends. They get me back up. I have lost a point of luck. You know, I've lost my luck. My luck has gone down. I roll randomly. Let's see, there's 5 attributes, for example. There's 5 attributes. I roll. I've lost I lost a point of my resilience. But I can increase some of my I can increase some of my resilience skills or something like that. I'm trading out raw ability for knowledge. I become a better swordsman, but I'm a little bit weaker now. That could work. Maybe not the most elegant method, because again, in Dark Souls, it is a consistent power increase. Which is like a pretty unique thing. Because in Dark Souls, again, as I've kind of said more than once at this point, you are always advancing in Dark Souls. Like, every single thing you do, you are always advancing forward. Even if you get slammed by a boss, you're learning from it. From the start to the end, you're gaining power. We're gaining more souls. We're gaining more abilities. We're understanding things. I've increased my strength by 5 points. I have a new sword. I have a new armor. Like, that's why I think a lot of people are actually like kind of talking about Elden Ring so much, is just because you can very much cheese this system because it's non-linear. Dark Souls, you're not supposed to anyway to gain all that power right away. However, and this is one of the hardest things to transfer in a TTRPG, because one of the core ideas of a tabletop role-playing game is 2 things. One, you have the fear. You have to have that tension. Because in Dark Souls, Soul Hackers 2 looks like shit. Soul Hackers 2 looks weird. I don't know about that one. Not in. Looked, I was like, oh, cool, Soul Hackers. But then I'm like, oh, Soul Hackers. One of the big ideas is that you have... Okay, in Dark Souls, if you stop playing the game, you technically go hollow. That's the justification for things. That's how it works. If you fail as the chosen undead, if you fail your mission and you turn off the game and never play again, you have become hollow. You know, you've given up hope, because that's all hollowing is. You've given up hope. And when you, the player, give up, you're done. However, tabletop games are a little bit different. Everything has to be Persona 5. Come on. Everything has to be Persona 5. That's simple. Persona 5 invented jazz. Come on, Ironside. Remember. Now, tabletop games are a little bit more unique, simply because you have a lot more personal investment with it, and you need to have that tension. I can play Dark Souls at my own pace. If I want to go to every little nook and cranny, if I want to look over here for a bit, if I just want to sit by and cheese the game, I can cheese. I can do all these things. You can't do that with a tabletop game, though. Because you have a game master, people around you who are expecting things. You have a very different set of assumptions, which is one of the reasons why I keep saying you can't port Dark Souls to the table, because it's simply a different endeavor. It is built with different assumptions and different concepts. Trying to put them together is going to lead to absolute sadness. Hence why I'm like, I need something. Like my initial thought is when any of these attributes hit 0. So you're always gaining a little bit of attributes by kind of leveling up your class, but you're always losing them because you shouldn't have that much HP. That's one of the core ideas. You really shouldn't have HP. So your skills might not get affected, but your attributes are. So you're technically getting weaker every time you die, but you're getting better, but you're getting weaker at the same time. So, unless we base everything, unless we do it equipment based. All right. Because the JTRPG version, the official one anyway, how it works is that it actually has like a completely separate resource. Like what it is you have memories, and when you lose memories, it's when you die you lose memories. Because it's just like when death equals loss of memories. But when you lose memories, you get stronger. But you kind of have that, presiding tension in the back of your head, which should work. I mean, if we apply it to the fact that you're going to lose attributes, but you're constantly gaining attributes to replace the lost ones, that should work. You're constantly gaining to lose them. Characters get too strong, you start thwacking them a little bit. They're going to start losing attributes, but they're going to gain more skills. Do we give them skills naturally, however? I guess you can use it to gain skills naturally, or actually what we can do. You can acquire a skill by learning it from somebody. We went to a place to get a skill. Now I have the ability to learn how to use a spear. I know how to use a spear now because I talked to this person. I know this. Or you can learn them, which is, actually, no, learning them, go to a person, learn the thing, go. You can acquire a skill, which is, because we've done this thing, I'm going to gain a skill. Because we've killed a dragon, I now know what dragons are, and I can now make a dragon lore check or something. I've acquired it. I've learned it. Or you can gain skills. Because I've died repeatedly, I'm gaining, I've, kind of internalized these different skills. So you can it's kind of a little bit less natural to do that when you die, but you're gaining these skills a bit more readily, unless we tie it to some like metaphorical version of it, like you're literally just blessed. The entire purpose is that you have a holy mission to do this, because nobody else can, but you are the least competent person to do it. That could be, we could make that lore based, kind of like how Dark Souls does it. But yeah, okay. Okay. All right. All right, I'm going to call it here for today. Not a long stream. But these streams are rarely very long. But what this did, what I have a feeling, is I know how this is going to work. I know how this is going to work. And you want to know how it's going to work? Pretty much, we're going to start... We're going to have to do this very JTRPG in a way. Because Kenshi's going to be learning at this point. We got to think that. He's learning. He's adapting to the times. And because he's adapted to the times, he's probably going to do, very structured game. Very structured gameplay. Weak starting characters plus class. But again, he's adapted but not done. So weak starting characters plus class. We go through an adventure. Adventures equal our XP. That's pretty much how we're going to level up. You complete an adventure, you go on a mission, you kill the big bad monster, you come home, you get experience points. You're going to go up at a job level. You're going to be able to get a new attribute, increase some of your skills. You're going to do good. However, this is going to lead back into the original point. You're going to be making attribute checks. Attribute checks are simple and effective. Skill checks are... I need to hide from someone really fast. All right, make me an agility check real fast. I rolled a 10. You aren't doing that. But if you say, I need a stealth from this person, I want to hide. Be like, all right, if you have, make me an agility check if you want to just do a basic hide, or you want to roll stealth. I want to roll stealth. I rolled 37. I succeed. You dive under cover real fast. And now he doesn't even know you're there. No one else can move. You can move. Cool. We've already done that. Now, combat. Combat is a series of skill checks plus attribute checks. Which, it is a very start, middle, end. We have a very structured layer of play. But the idea is players keep characters. They're not one-shot characters. These are characters meant to be used repeatedly. Hi, Manly. We're just wrapping up, actually. These characters are meant to be repeated, consistently. Session 1, you're going to have this character. He's going to come back next session. He's a little bit stronger, a little bit tougher. He can die, though, but if you make a new character, that's not a problem. It's not a problem. It's easy to make a new character. It takes 5 minutes. 5 minutes to make a new character, and he's going to be just as effective. He may not have all the cool skills, but he can still do his job well. He's still going to do that very well. But you're always advancing, even when you don't think you are. Okay. Alright, I think I know how to do this. It's going to be a little bit weird, but I think I can make this game work. Oh yeah, Manly, this is my schizo notes. If you ever want to see what true fucking madness is, it's this. This entire thing is just schizo notes. Yeah, I don't have a problem, you do. But I'm going to call it there for today. I have an idea. What I'm going to do is I'm going to formalize everything. I'm going to formalize everything by Friday. My goal is Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I want to formalize everything. I want to get everything, kind of the basics written down, and and pretty much take these notes and streamline them. This was throwing shit at the wall day. Sometimes we have to throw poop at the wall to make sure everything else works. Then, on Monday, we're going to start formally. On Monday, we're going to start everything. We're going to need to work on. It's going to be basic systems, it's going to be character creation, it's going to be things like that. We're going to be going all the way through. That's the plan. On Friday proper, probably going to work on Metal Saviors. Why? Because I want to get Metal Saviors done. Honestly, I just want to get that game done. Because the quicker I get it done, the quicker I can start testing things with it. So, I'm called there. Don't forget this Saturday, The Curious Case of Games Where You Play Literally Animals, which I found something relatively interesting the other day about one of my favorite designers who I didn't even realize made a game about prairie dogs. I don't know why it exists, but he did. Come to you too, Manly. Come a dum dum. All right, I am away.